And I dropped
Okay.
something else in the chat for you guys. It's a community partner tip sheet. I believe it's to form partnerships within the medical area, but it's there's a lot of stuff in there that we can use as you go forward and are working with community partners. It gives you ideas about different sections of the community to address and different things that they can partner with together. And one that caught my attention was that one of their goals is to look for grants that they can apply for with their community partners. So
Great.
make sure
Thanks,
you
Vic.
check that out. Yes. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here and get the agenda going. One second. All right. Right, great. Well, good morning and welcome to the Communications, Sustainability, and Partnership Committee. Thank you all for joining. If you could all please turn on your cameras, that would be great. It's nice to see everyone's faces. And then I thought maybe we could start with some introductions and we could do this kind of popcorn style. If you could just please introduce yourselves, your program, and one special or funny thing you heard recently from a kid in your program. I can go ahead and start with my introduction. I'm Elva Griffin, if you have not met me already. I have been one who has probably been blowing up your email, so sorry about that. But I'm here for support. So if there's anything that I can do for you, please don't hesitate to reach out. And I will just go ahead and throw this off to Katie.
All right, I'm Katie Boatwright, and I am from Fairfield Community School District. And just recently, we had a little girl come up and say that she was really upset because a boy had called her a name. And I said, "What do you mean he called you a name? What did he call you?" And she said, "He called me a Karen." And I had to not laugh. I was like trying really hard. And so I asked him later, like, "Why did you call her that?" And he's like, because she was being a Karen." I was like, "Oh, children."
And Katie, if you want to call on
I was gonna
someone.
say, am I supposed to nominate someone to
Yep.
go next? Let's make Vic go next.
Okay, I'm Vic Jarvis, Iowa Department of Education, and I'm the SCA person. And if you have any questions or any concerns or problems, make sure you reach out to me. Okay, so I'm going to pick George Phillips.
Hello, I'm George Phillips, Boys and Girls Club of the Cedar Valley. I am the
Uh-oh, we lost George.
Yeah. Do you want to call on someone else, Vic, until it gets back on?
Hey, George, if you can hear me, turn your video off. Then your audio should start working. You probably got a slow internet connection.
that me?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, your audio cut out.
Elva, do you want us to come back to George? I can watch and see when he pops back on.
Yeah, sure. Or Vic, do you want to call on someone? Or
Sure, I'll call on Heidi.
Yeah, I can just go. Hi, I'm Heidi Brown. I'm the director of the Iowa After School Alliance. I'm happy that we are starting these community practices again, and I'm happy to see all of your faces. And one funny thing that a kid recently said to me was my own child who was driving our car and noticed that the check engine light came on. So he pulled over to the side of the road and opened the hood. He knows nothing about car engines. And the funny joke around our house lately has been that he was checking the engine to make sure it was still there. And I'm going to nominate AJ.
Hi, AJ Salinas, Boys and Girls Club of Central Iowa. Kind of a funny thing that happened at club recently is we have this middle school student who doesn't want to leave our club. She wants to stay to the very end. And her dad was here to pick her up about 45 minutes before. So she was arguing on the phone with him, telling him that he can wait and he doesn't have anything else to do. She wants to stay. So she won the argument and she stayed. And her dad waited for 45 minutes in the parking lot. Um, I'll nominate Elena.
All right, hi, I'm Elena with the Council Bluffs Community School District 21st Century Programs. I'm really stumped here because I have another hat I wear as a tennis coach in the spring. So I've been a little more prevalent with some high school girls and rather than our programs lately. And although there's a lot of comical dynamics you see from a group of high school girls, I'm really struggling to pinpoint an exact story. So I'm gonna just fail on this assignment, I think. If that's okay. And I'm gonna pass the torch to Savannah.
Hi, I'm Savannah. I also work for Council Bluffs Schools, our 21st Century program. And something funny that happened recently is we have a babysitting program at our middle schools, and the students took it upon themselves to email their teachers and ask if they can now babysit their kids since they've completed their program.
Savannah, you have to pick somebody.
I know I was scrolling. Bailey.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name's Bailey Moore. I'm the Director of Operations for the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Cedar Valley. Like George Phillips said, I'm here at University of Northern Iowa for the Social Emotional Learning Conference. So to be a little bit more respectful of everybody that's around, I'll probably be on mute a decent amount here this morning. Let's see, we're doing a story about something funny that's happened at one of our 21st century sites. I can say something fun that's happened. We've done a little bit of gardening at one of our 21st century sites. So that's been really cool for some of our young people to get involved with. One of our community partners has done that. So that's been really, really nice. I don't think I've heard maybe Erin Brookshire.
Hey guys, I'm Erin Brookshire from Fort Dodge, Dodger Academy after school program, and we'll have our second year of summer programming this year. Something special. I did outreach with one of our community partner groups a couple weeks ago, and one of our students, a fourth grader, he shared willingly that he enjoys our program because we allow his brother to attend. And his brother has special needs. So usually during the school day, he has a one-to-one para. But when he comes to our program, he's able to fit in with the other first graders and not really have that adult over his shoulder. And he's still doing everything that everyone else is doing. So he just loves that his brother's able to enjoy it. Let's see, who hasn't gone yet? George, are you able to yet?
Yes, I think I'm good to go now. Yep, George Phillips of the Boys and Girls Club of the Cedar Valley. Again, I'm at University of Northern Iowa today for a social emotional conference. It's going pretty well so far. This is a nice break to get away from some of the speakers. Some fun that's happened in the last few weeks. The kids are at the club now, and we've been able to start this we started this new game yesterday. It's called Foot and Hand, and we tried to put some hands and some feet on the floor and try to get them moving up and down. It's look it up on YouTube if you can, but it was just fun to get the adults kind of trying it first, seeing us fall over a little bit and trying to get the kids a little motivated to try to put themselves in a awkward situation on the floor. It's almost like a bit of a twister in the line, but pretty fun time in the gym at the club. Let me see if I can choose someone else here. How about Savannah Talich? Has she gone yet?
I think we have Keely and Brianna left.
Well, let's go with Keely.
Hi, I'm Keely. I work for Fort Madison Community Schools and I'm our Extended Learning Programs Coordinator. I recently came back from maternity leave, so I haven't spent a ton of time with our kids as of recently, but this week I had come back and so all the kids want to see pictures of my baby, and so it's been really nice and special that everyone wants to tell me how cute my baby is. And so that's kind of my little thing, is that it's been really special and kind of funny to hear them all say it and be like, "Aw," and like that's what they want to see when they see me. And so that's my thing. And then I think that means that Brianna, are you our last one?
Yep. So I'm Brianna Ingwerson. I am the Youth Port Resource Specialist in Cedar Rapids. So we have a few different sites with Boys and Girls Club, and then some Freedom School sites. So one special thing with our middle schoolers, some of their favorite things about programming is just having adults who care about them. That was kind of a common theme, and we were kind of trying to gauge their time with the program.
Oh, great. Well, thank you all so much for sharing. George and Bailey, I hope you learned some great things you can bring back to us next time we meet. So thank you all. And so our committee chairs, we have Elena and Katie. Is that something that you're still interested, not to put you on the spot, but is that something that you are still interested in keeping the title, or are you wanting to relinquish it, maybe pass it on to someone else?
I would love to let someone else take over. I was hoping to switch to the Family Engagement Committee.
Got it.
And similarly, last year we opened up this conversation for myself. This would be my 4th year, although we haven't really had a lot this year. But I spent 3 years in this chair position, and we are adding buildings in my district and have had some staffing changes that I would also love to pass this opportunity on to somebody else. If anybody is interested. It's not that hard or scary. It's just something that I've spent a couple years in. And
Yeah, so for those of you that are new to this committee or on the call right now, I can just let you know, just like Elena said, it is not scary. Elva and I do a lot to assist you with agenda creation and help guide the committee meetings. But if you are interested, you can certainly take a look at what the expectations are. We can send an email that includes everything. If this is something that you'd like to do and you know right now, you can certainly pipe up and we can reach out to you, or you can email us separately. This is also something you could do with a co-chair. So if you're interested in participating, but you're thinking maybe don't have time for the full responsibility of chairing the committee, perhaps there's someone who would like to share that load with you. So maybe we'll just have a moment of wait time in case there's anyone on the call that's interested in this leadership role. And if you are new to 21st Century, if you're a new grantee, that's okay. This is also a great place for you. You don't have to have a ton of prior knowledge or experience, but it is a nice leadership opportunity for new folks as well. So maybe we'll just take a beat. If you're interested, speak up, put your name in the chat, or if you want to think about it a little bit, you can email us as well. right. Okay, Elva, I think we'll just go ahead and move on.
Yeah, perfect. So next up we had the to review the committee guide. So I don't know if Elena, and not again, sorry, not to put you on the spot here, and really I promise after this meeting we won't, but if you could maybe walk us through the guide, or Katie, I can show you this on the screen. Are you able to see the guide?
Yep.
Make it
Yeah.
larger, please.
Is that?
That's much better. Thank you.
Okay, so this is kind of what we spent a bulk of last year looking at. And I think by the end of the year, we did feel it was complete. So unless something's glaringly no longer relevant or something we feel something has changed, I think that this should be set. So we can kind of scroll through slowly. If you want, I can read through. I know we all can read too, and just see. We started off with just some goals to kind of frame what this committee is. Again, if anybody is new, and this might help us kind of decide if you feel like you could chair a committee. We tried to really just give it a focus. It did get a rebrand last year with adding some other dynamics to it, or topics between communications, sustainability, and partnerships, and seeing kind of how those all can be woven together. So we just kind of narrowed those down, though, to providing resources and support across the topic of communication and all those topics. Sharing best practices, of course, that have worked at your local sites, and seeing how they might apply across different parts of the state. And then being a space that we can collaborate to resolve issues that we might experience in these categories, and kind of seeing how we can find resolution and, again, brainstorm together. Bridging communication between all of the committees was another piece that we did feel would be served well in this committee. So we have made a Google form that can be used across all committees for those who have small sites or small staff amounts that you can't get on every call. We're able to use that to kind of bridge gaps between those who have that shortage that you can't spend all of your time on calls. You can kind of see what's going on in those other committees. And then lastly, this committee plans to assist in providing resources that other committees might say that they are looking for support into. We would want to jump in and find a way to help serve that. So those are kind of the goals and the summary of what we're trying to do here. If you want to scroll, Elva, since this is you, as far as the member expectation, it's an every other month, I believe, is continued to be the plan. So that's 6 times in the year at most that we'll meet and spend time here. We encourage members to participate in discussion, share your experiences, positive and your struggles, so that we can collectively work towards helping and growing and leveraging all of the positive experiences that we do have. And then if you can't make it, let us know, or let Elva or Heidi know, usually is how we go about that. And then we went through some quick summaries of each of those topics, since we do have a couple of labels on our committee. So I don't think we have to read through all of this, but we went through communication. There already is some resources on the Iowa 21st Century website that we just linked to for each of these. Yeah, I won't read these parts, so we'll just go slow if you want to scan. And for anybody who maybe is new this year, knowing that this assignment was kind of placed on all committees, we wanted to place a little bit of more thorough information on the website. So as a new grant does come into place and you're being told to jump on a committee, you kind of know what each of these options is, and can kind of pick what you either are most interested in gathering some support with, or hearing other experiences. So all 5 committees were encouraged to make one of these. And I think the plan is that this could probably be posted and linked on the website as kind of a final piece right now, so that this is now, unless anybody went through that and thought, I don't know if that describes this committee, I think we're missing something or anything, feel free to let me know that, because I'm the the pen on that so far.
Maybe an action item, Elena, is we can make sure to include this with the summary details of this committee meeting and give everybody like a week to look through it. Do you think that's reasonable? And if
Absolutely.
we don't hear any feedback to the negative, we'll go ahead and post.
I have one suggestion, and that has to do with including the day and the time, because it said on that document Wednesday at 11 a.m. And rather than do that, let's just put down that it meets bi-monthly, and you can put the exact day and time on the website. That way, if you change the day or time, and that's possible, you don't have to update the document.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great suggestion. Thanks, Vic. Yeah, so we'll make sure to include that in the summary so that you have that week to give any feedback. Elena, we also had the let me go back to share my screen. Give me a second here. We also have the intercommittee update summary, and so I think you touched on that in the when you were giving the committee guide. Do you also own that, or is that?
Yep, I own that one too.
Got it. Okay.
Is it, if you want to bring that link up, or?
Yeah, give me 1 second here.
I know that we never fully found our flow with getting that released, so next school year could be a great time to really get that into place.
Are you able to
across all the committees?
Perfect. Do you want to kind of talk a little bit about what the intention was?
Yeah. Yep. So this is really short and sweet. We didn't want to add a big task to anyone's plate. Everyone's busy in their local sites, of course. So this was just kind of a quick moment that we could ask the committee chairmen to each fill this out after their meeting. It really just asks for where you represent. And then if we scroll down, it's, I think, pretty open-ended on kind of a summary of what you did at the last meeting, and then if there are any needs or requests. So this was just intended to let us have a document that's collecting those updates. And then in theory, at the beginning of the meetings, I would then be able to share with you all what was mentioned on the evaluation committee, the family engagement committee, if there was any highlight worth sharing, just to, again, streamline communication. We all have that resource at each committee. It can allow us to not feel like we have to sit on every call if you don't have a site with staff who can kind of represent you on all the committees, then you can kind of still get a little soundbite of what's going on everywhere. So that's what we worked on really last year. And again, I don't think this is really in place because most people have had just their first meeting. So there's nothing really to report on as of now for those committees. But now that everybody is getting that first meeting done, we can send this out as well. And moving forward, we'll have that precedent in place.
Great. Yeah, a suggestion would be to add that as a chairperson duty and maybe put it as an action item at the bottom of each agenda.
Yep. And do you think that the committee guide should have chairman pieces in that, or do you guys feel like that is separated, a separate conversation, is not an everyone expectation anyway? So I don't know if you guys want to keep that. That just crossed my mind.
Yeah. Any thoughts or any feedback on the guide or on the
Elena, you're thinking, you're asking if folks think that in the guide there should be information on sharing?
Yeah, we put member expectations. Do you think that might be a question for Elva and Heidi? Just, I don't know how we generally communicate that, or if that is a separate conversation since all committees have it.
Yeah.
Or if it'd be a quick snippet, obviously. I don't think it'd be much.
Yeah. Right. Well, I don't know. I think I would put it back to you guys, you know, for maybe for folks that are interested in potentially chairing or having a leadership role in the future, is would it make sense to have that included in the guide, or would you like to have it housed somewhere else?
I think it would make sense to have it in the guide because then everything's all in one spot, and then people can look at it and maybe decide halfway through the committee, like, oh, this is something I might want to do because it's easy. And it's just easier to have the information up front instead of having to track it down when you're ready for it.
Yeah. That makes some sense to me. I think it can be nice just to have that ahead of time. I know hearing on a call like, hey, we're looking for somebody and you don't fully know what you're being asked to do. It's not everyone's first pick to want to jump in. So I'm happy to start working on that, and I'll just use Heidi and Elva as a resource just to make sure that what we're putting into place is consistent communication that we say for other committees. So I think that will be an easy addition, and I can get that added before we share it out for that review, Heidi.
That would be great. And so that actually leads me to my next question for you, Elena, and for the committee and folks that might be interested in leadership in the future. Who is the best person to own these documents? Is it the committee chair or is it Iowa After School Alliance? We are happy to, but of course don't want to take responsibility, from the committee if that's what you feel, where you feel it belongs.
I think you guys need to own it because of the contractual relationship that we have. And I like your idea about the form that the chairs would fill out, Elena. However, I have a concern. And that is that the other committees need to have some input because I really try to keep a lot of extra work off your plates. You'd be surprised how much stuff you're not having to do because I, said something about it. And what is the difference though between this form and the notes that are already collected by the Alliance? Maybe this is something we have the Alliance do as part of their duties and then share it out to everyone. Here's a summary of all the committees.
Yeah, that's a great point. I was thinking that too. I wonder if we do the full set of minutes, but maybe that would include like a condensed version too. So then the committee chair at the beginning of each could just quickly kind of go through what's been happening in the other committees. But do you think that would be, and then if you hear something that really sparks your interest, you could go to the full minutes or the video and watch it.
I like that idea.
Right. No need to, essentially rewrite, the minutes are already there and they're on the website, that everyone can access. So,
well, you guys are so busy anyway, and we're already doing it. So we don't really need to reinvent the wheel there. Unless somebody has a burning, feeling about that. I think that's a good idea.
Okay, perfect. Any other feedback or suggestions on either of the process? I think we decided on the committee chair. Well, we're adding the expectations of the chairperson to the guide. And then we're also, is it then on that we're adding the expectation that the committee person or the chairperson is to have a summary of each meeting? No. Okay.
No, Elena's gonna add the action items Elena's gonna add the chair expectations to the guide. We're gonna take ownership of both of these forms after that. And then our piece will be in addition to the full meeting minutes, we will fill out the form and make access available to all the committee chairs.
Got it.
And I think we said we have a week for that, right, Elena? Did we say a week?
Yeah, and I was just going to say that if with this kind of change of duties there, it doesn't have to be this form. I don't know if there's a better method that is just a copy and paste your notes from those and put it on a different doc. I think you guys have the freedom to decide what, again, is the simplest added task. So it's not so much of an extra piece. This form can disappear pretty easily. And then however it feels best for you guys to collect that is I think where we're at. So
Great, great. Thanks for that flexibility.
yeah, you're welcome. But as far as other pieces of this agenda, I obviously don't have much else to share. I'm not sure, Alva, what was next worth discussing. I think from
I
other
think we
committees I've
do
been
have
on.
one. I think we do have one more thing that Vic wanted to share, which was the community. Did you want to talk about the community partners list, Vic? And I have it prepared.
Well, you can talk about it as you show it, and I can make, some salient comments as we are going through the document. One of my concerns is that we have this form, but how many people know how to use this form when they're looking at expanding their community partnerships, or seeing maybe you've got a need for somebody to do some math tutoring, and you want to look and see what other people around the state are doing. How many people have used this form? Because that's what it's there for. It's there to provide another level of support for you. And look how it's organized. Heidi, do you want to read the different areas that we're tracking in this form about
Sure.
support?
Yeah. So first of all, I'll say that I've received community partner lists from all but one school or one cohort, which is wonderful. And we are up to about 600 partnerships in the state, which is a bounce back from the pandemic time of, I think we dipped down to 400, Vic told me. So obviously there's geographic areas served, but when we're going through this, there's a lot of partners that I think could potentially be statewide. We're looking at academic tutoring, literacy, math. Chess is a separate category, and I know there are lots of virtual chess programs or partners that people work with. Just enrichment, which I guess is the kind of that miscellaneous category if it doesn't fall in somewhere else specifically. STEM, physical fitness, nutrition education, art, music, drama, drug and violence prevention, financial literacy, family engagement, college and career readiness, and service learning. And let's see here, I can just show you how to get to this as well. I can try anyway. If you go to the 21st century Iowa 21st century 21cclc.com website, which you should all have bookmarked on your computer. If you don't already, make sure that you do that. And you go to About 21CCLC, it's the very first link available for you under there. And actually, it's the only link available under About 21CCLC. It's the partners list. And the most updated one will be available right at the top. So if you click on that, and it will come to a download, and then you'll have the option, to kind of do what you want with that form. You don't have to worry about messing it up on the website or anything like that. And we do this once a year, so it has the most updated information. Whoops. Someday we'll have that many partners, but not yet. Has the most updated information that you can find. And yeah, email addresses, contact information, phone numbers. The only thing missing from this list, which I wonder might be.
Heidi, you're not sharing your screen. Sorry.
Oh, really?
It's stuck on the.
Oh, shoot. All right, hang on. There we go. Yeah, the only thing I think might be important to pay a little bit more attention to next time for the sites is to give this geographic location and areas served a little bit more attention, because sometimes I think folks put in local or regional, and it might not be very clear what that exactly means. So I think next time we begin collecting this information, maybe we ask for a bit more specific information about the location, whether it's a statewide partner or, yeah.
Why don't we put in a tab for statewide partnerships? Because off the top of my head, I can think of 3. We've got the Blank Park Zoo. They have a van and they just charge a flat rate. They'll come out anywhere in the state and they'll bring animals to your program. And the Science Center of Iowa also has a van and they will charge a flat rate, go anywhere in Iowa and do science experiments. Okay, and then IPTV, they have the PBS Electric Company after-school curriculum. Not only can you use that, they will send a trainer out to your site at no cost. So right there's, 3 statewide partnerships that everyone can take advantage of. And there's some more on there, like, the State Library of Iowa. They have a list of Iowa authors that'll come into your school. Just tons of great resources to enhance your program. And it's required by ESSA. And the reason they required it is because that's what they want us to do with this grant, is to create those community partnerships.
Great. Any questions about that document or how to find it? No.
So take a look at it and, see what you can find, that you could take advantage of.
Yes. Yeah, thank you for sending over your partnerships list for us to create that and to share that out with everyone. So thank you. Well, is there anything for us before I stop the recording and open it up? No, I'll go ahead and stop the recording now.